This is the headliner group. Rory McIlroy. He's brought a lot of people through the gate, Colt.
These crowds are absolutely incredible, Frank. So many people out here watching this man. But they are off to a slow start today. A couple early bogeys.
Yeah, 1 and 3. Surprising. They rallied hard yesterday.
Yeah, to take some positives. A slow start yesterday and then got hot at the end. See if they can do it again today. But they're going to have to put their foot on the gas pedal if they want to catch these guys.
Yeah, amazing scores, really. The alternate shot format already says 64, 65. And a potential 63 from Blair, from Ramy and Trainer on 18. They have an eagle putt coming up.
He's got just over 20 feet, Frank, coming through a little bit of the fringe. Should roll pretty smooth. Well, it's got plenty of speed.
Work for his partner now. They're not dovetailing. He marks, we go to 8.
And Adam Hadwin, we had a good chat with the two Canadians yesterday on the 16th. Adam Hadwin and Nick Taylor. They are at 22 under, 3 back of Zach Blair and Patrick Fishburn.
Great to be back at TPC Louisiana. It opened 20 years ago. Tyler McCool does a great job. Course is in phenomenal shape, a par 72. And again, today's format is the alternate shot. Let's go back to 6.
Just 2 birdies here at 6 today. They put it a tee up. Now, Grim.
Yeah, they drove it way right off the tee and then found one of those little pot bunkers up here by the green. Hubbard had a very difficult stance. Did pretty good to get it to here.
Some of those names on the leaderboard, they mightn't be familiar to everybody at home. But believe me, there's a 2-year exemption up for grab for some of the players that are not fully exempt. So a lot on the line. Hubbard taps in. In Colt, with this format, we talk about sort of the mojo, or Trevor. You know, you've involved President's Cup, trying to pair people together. You know, who takes the odds, who takes the evens, strategy.
Well, this golf course absolutely makes you think about it a little bit. You've got 3 of the par 3s on the odds. So what you're looking for is you're trying to get the best player to tee off at the first and then take the odd holes from there. And then you've got a few long holes, like this one, 6, long par 4. So the guy who's teeing off on the evens, the better driver, can really send it out there and allow that good iron player to take advantage.
And Colt, McIlroy is on the evens and Lowry on the odds.
Yeah, talking to them early in the week, Rory thought being the longer hitter would really help him teeing off on the evens, where Shane Lowry, one of the best iron players on the PGA Tour, so he gets those tough par 3s.
These guys are probably going to need an eagle at 7. I mean, they are starting to fall a long way back.
To the action at 18.
And we've only seen 1 eagle at the par 5 18th so far. Trainer has a chance to make it 2 and take this team to 26 under par.
Yeah, if he makes it, that 62 in this round and getting to 26 under would set quite a mark to sit in the clubhouse. Maybe hope for a little wind to kick up this afternoon and make the second eye more interesting for the other players. But this is a very difficult putt. He's going to have to take this up near the edge of the green, really. It kicks off of that shoulder there, breaks down towards his left-hand side.
Yeah, the alternate shot record in this event is 63. Cantlay and Schauffele have done it, so have Taylor and Hadwin. So if this putt goes down, it will be a new record in the alternate shot at the Zurich.
You can see him looking out towards the edge of the green. Just kiss that and let it funnel down.
Well, Well, it's not going to be a new record, but that is to tie the alternate shot record. This is a team that began the day 7 shots behind. The largest final round comeback at the Zurich is 3 shots. Trevor, it's so difficult to make up ground.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure is if they tap that in there. It's their 11th birdie today.
Zach Blair at 6.
There's a wispy lie. Frank got fortunate there. 6-iron. Into the wind, hurting it just a touch off the left.
It's a big green.
Not a bad miss.
Got a lot of work with. Had a good up and down at the par 3 third. And Fishburn had a nice chip. As we go to 7.
And the par 5, Shane Lowry on the tee.
Wind blowing hard from right to left. Just got to avoid that little pop bunker up the left center.
That's right at about 325.
So just off the fairway, and again, McIlroy will be the next to play as we take you to the par 3 9th. Here's Nick Taylor's tee shot.
Man, took a long time to try and figure out the wind. That's 6-iron.
Bit of a wide ball there.
Defensive.
Does have some green to work with, but chipping downwind, no gimme up and down.
Now back at 18, and it'll be Ramy trying to finish off the birdie. Both Ramy and Trainer have each won once in their PGA Tour careers. Trainer, the 2019 Puerto Rico Open, and Ramy 2 years ago at the Corrales Punta Cana Championship. And there's the birdie. And what a round for Ramy and Trainer. A 63 that ties the alternate shot record. And as Trevor said, they can get in the clubhouse. Hope it becomes a really windy afternoon. Right now in at 25 under par. So if you've been with us throughout the week here in New Orleans, the first and third rounds feature the best ball format. The second round and today's final round is alternate shots, so partners must alternate strokes and tee shots. Let's go out to 6.
Fishburn there, plenty of green to work with.
Super straightforward chip shot. Actually very holeable.
Didn't miss that sprinkler by much.
No, but he also missed the center of the club face. Did not come off very crisply.
Rule number 1 in this format, don't apologize. To 9.
And the second for Adam Hadwin.
Downhill lie down green, but that too a misstrike there from that lie.
Bounced that leading edge right into the ball, no spin.
As we welcome you inside the 18th tower with Trevor Immelman, I'm Andrew Catalan. Yesterday, a whole bunch of birdies in the best ball format. Different story today. A 63 is really impressive.
Oh, it's absolutely incredible. Those two guys made 11 birdies in that round of golf. And this golf course is challenging for sure. The par 3s are extremely difficult. The wind is still up out of the southeast. So for two guys coming in here with not much form, 134th and 170th in the FedEx Cup standings, to shoot that final round and put themselves in a position to get a win on the PGA Tour really is incredible. It's going to be an interesting couple hours to see if everyone can chase them down and set a new goal.
And McIlroy and Lowry, the headliners. Rory's had incredible crowds following him all week. But you said that leaderboard is so jumbled. They almost have to make an eagle here at the 7th.
Yeah, they're almost at a point right now to where they really need to go ahead and just go for everything. When you are 5 back, you have so many teams between you and Ramy and Trainer that have set the mark at 25. Blair and Fishburn also at 25, playing in the groups behind them. They're starting to run out of time. This hole 7 is vitally important. They got to at least get a birdie out here.
Let's dive into the format a little bit more, because we were on the range for a while today with McIlroy and Lowry, and I think it's interesting how they decide which ball they'll use, Trevor.
Yeah, so what they do is they tee off with the ball of the guy who's going to hit the approach shot, because they both play a different manufacturer. So on this hole, Lowry would have teed off with Rory's ball so that they can go ahead and use that ball on approach.
Let's go out to 6.
The par putt now for Blair. And that's going to hurt, that's for sure. He's actually an excellent course designer now, even though he's only 33. It's normally a career you look for when you've hung up the golf clubs. So still a good start. You see 1 under through the first 6. You've got to remind yourself of that. Par 5 to come. To 9.
And a big putt coming for this Canadian team of Taylor and Hadwin. It'll be Taylor trying to save par.
And these two are a very complementary group. Play games that fit this sort of format. And Nick Taylor has putted beautifully this season. Hold a number of these en route to the victory there out in Phoenix.
Yeah, they've had success here as well, finishing 2nd last year.
Cannot save par, so a drop shot for Taylor and Hadwin. Now at the 7th, here's the 2nd for McIlroy.
And Trevor, the rough is so spotty this week. Both of these guys found the rough, but Rory's lie is terrible.
Just a layup.
He's got a 6-iron, so yeah, he's definitely playing it out there to the right. It was sitting way down.
And just to carry on with what we're talking about, when they decide which ball to use, that's because on approach, distance control, spin control, trajectory is so important. They want that player to be using the ball that he always plays with, always practices with.
Today, McIlroy and Lowry are playing alongside the team of Ryan Brehm and Mark Hubbard. And Hubbard will be next to play from the rough as well.
And you can see, I mean, you can see all of this golf ball. He's going to be able to give this a go from 255.
Colt, would you rather miss left or right if you're going for it here?
I think you want to miss it over to the right a little bit. It'll give you a little more green to work with. But this is a really gettable pin.
Yeah, and a little bit of a bowl there on that left side. Ball slightly below his feet.
Struck really nice. Needs to go a little.
Just off to the right side of the green, so good angle there to try to get up and down for birdie for the team of Brehm and Hubbard. So Ramy and Trainer post a 63. That ties the alternate shot record, and right now in the clubhouse already with a 1-shot lead.
So just off the edge. Justin Lauer rolling this one on. Teaming up with Dylan Wu as they are at 15, so a short par putt left. They've not been able to pick up a score on the back like they were hoping. They're 1 over coming in. Even par score today. Now this from earlier, Peter Malnati. And Malnati brushing this through the fringe. And this putt coming from the opposite side. And well controlled. That's what you're looking at, is just to try and ensure a good length for par. If you miss your mark, you want to keep it within that 4 to 5 foot range. Those can be dicey, but definitely a higher percentage play. Olesen off of that shoulder, and it really accelerated on him. He wanted to clear through the fringe, but now he's left his teammate Matt Wallace in a much tougher position. And so it looks like that play for par, he really could be at risk. They've already suffered 1 double. Ryan Palmer, the 11th, par 5, and he can't believe he missed it. And so that was a chance for the team to pick up a score. And disappointing. as they have to accept the par. And so Palmer with the miss, even though they made birdie at 10, they miss out at 11. 25 under par for Chad Ramy and Martin Trainer. They have moved past Blair and Fishburn. Now they are done. The other two, they are looking for a chance at their first win on the PGA Tour, and they are just a third of their final round complete. Still have a dozen holes to play. Higo and Fox have wrapped up, so have Stevens and Bourgeon. They are all among the top 3 on the leaderboard. Shane Lowry now, par 5 7th, the third shot for the team. And pulling that one back. That's going to be left for Rory to see if he can roll it in for a birdie. Wallace needing this. And this is the bogey putt. And he can't believe he missed it. So it's going to cost this team 2 shots. He'll have to hold it for a double.
Joining us now are Chad Ramy and Martin Trainer. You two just made a very difficult format look a lot easier than it actually is. You tied the tournament record in this format with that 63. So Martin, I'll start with you. What went so well?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. We almost did better in this format than in the best ball day, where you should shoot a little lower. But no, I mean, we were just a great complementary team out there. Chad really had it going with his irons. I sprinkled a couple in there and had the putter going, so it just worked out great.
So as we watch these groups come through, especially I think the back 9, and everyone's going to be trying to keep up, make some birdies, go low to match you guys, what can you tell us about the course conditions, where the challenges are, and where someone has to capitalize?
I mean, honestly, I'd say it's playing more difficult than we made it look. I mean, we were just kind of firing on all cylinders, and like he said, I mean, we were just complimenting each other, and you know, it's just a great round.
You guys are going to be waiting around, I'm assuming, so what do you do as you keep an eye on this leaderboard?
I'm going to have a little lunch, a little Louisiana cooking, and hang out, hit a couple putts.
Yep, I mean, same thing, going to go grab some lunch, and, you know, if it stays close, I'll probably go to the range.
All right, very nice. Well, congratulations. Well done today, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And they're going to have to wait a while. Back at the 7th, here's Brem with his 3rd.
That was a very interesting shot choice, Trevor.
Sure
Dumping it
was.
into the hill with all that green to work with.
He had that wedge way back in his stance there.
Let's go to 10.
Adam had one. Mark Immelman is down there.
Just a fairway finder, Frank, because this hole is sharply downwind.
Yeah, breeze is blowing from the southeast 4 straight days. Well positioned. Hole's not too long. Back to 7.
And we are here with Hubbard having a birdie putt coming up.
And a lot longer putt than he was hoping for. That ran by a good 12 feet. And it's going to have some movement from his left to right.
Now, one of those you got to make sure you put a good strike on it, or the grain is just going to chew it up.
In this format, you feel so much more pressure on the par 5s. It's so hard to capitalize on some of the other holes that you feel like you got to make hay here. And this is a big opportunity for both these teams at 7.
Those guys making 11 birdies in this format is just ridiculous.
Sure is.
They're going to feel like they gave one away there.
Yeah, a little bit of a waste after the good tee shot and second. And they're not done yet.
Well, Rory and Shane played a lot of alternate shot growing up. In fact, Rory's first ever match in the Walker Cup back in 2007 was against you, Colt. The 2 teams finished all square.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate for us. I missed a short one on the last. He reminds me of it occasionally.
As he should.
The final groupings waiting back in the fairway at 7. Blair and Fishburn, List and Norlander.
It's another good thing about this format. You can rarely get playing quick in alternate shot.
Trevor, they got to make this one, though, if they want to have a chance.
Oh, yeah. He's been painting the edges so far today.
Had to have it. And he's got it. So a birdie at 7 for McIlroy and Lowry.
Crowd's kind of been willing him on all week, haven't they?
Even on the range, there was a huge following just to watch Rory warm up today. Let's take a look at our FedEx Cup summary. Players to reach the FedEx Cup playoffs each and every year since 2012. There's the list, and Rory right in the middle of it. Now look at the updated standings. And Scotty Scheffler still over 2,000 points ahead of Wyndham Clark, who's in second place. Now Brem trying to finish off a par at 7. And this team still even on the day, and 4 shots off the lead held by Ramy and Trainer. All right, so back in the 7th fairway, it's the all-Utah team of Patrick Fishburn and Zach Blair, and it will be Fishburn to hit the 2nd.
That is a downhill lie with what he calls his X iron. Doesn't even really know what the loft is, but it's in the vicinity of a 2-iron. This guy can move it.
Sure can. He told me this club will fly 255 in the air.
He's got 243 front, Trevor.
Nice looking line.
Got his attention.
Oh yeah, what a shot there. Patrick Fishburn. All over it, and now an eagle putt coming for his teammate Zach Blair. What a story this is. Grew up in the same hometown of Ogden, Utah. They've known each other since junior high school. They went to the same high school, same college, teammates at BYU, and an opportunity today for each of them to pick up their first PGA Tour victories.
Yeah, Patrick was telling Amanda yesterday that when they were growing up, Zach's dad, Jimmy, had a driving range, and the two of them just used to hang out there all day long in the summers, hitting balls, trying to get as good as they could at this game.
To 10.
And Nick Taylor with a 2nd.
That wide swing out with a wedge. Beautiful control with that, Frank.
There's been a few birdies here at 10 today. To 8.
And this one's very birdieable for Rory McIlroy. Didn't leave any of that behind, Trev.
Yeah, that's going to be up near 190 ball speed. And right up near the green.
8th hole today, 380 yards. That's hole high, just off the left.
Not just long. He's left himself on the correct side of the green to have great angle.
Perfect. He's been in that little front bunker earlier this week as well. At 10.
Nico Echevarria, his 2nd.
Also been working on widening the downswing for more control. That's handsome.
Yeah, fine amateur career. So now, all of a sudden, we have a totally different flip script here. The leaders have become the chasers. Ramy, Trainer, amazing round of 63.
Now Justin Lowry taking a look. Angle of attack here, 2nd at 16. Lowry having to come out of that lie in the bunker and playing to a downhill green, and it just runs through that back edge, and you can see a little more runoff. Now that pin is cut to the back, so he's still in that quarter area of the greens complex, but in a tougher spot. 2nd at 12 out of the rough for Johnson. Watching this one, it will fall into that collection area, so that's going to be left for his teammate Ryan Palmer. And these two veterans of the tour for many years, even on the front, 1 under on the back. Wallace, as the team score is dipped to 14 under, and Wallace hoping to have a good shot to hand the next one to his partner, and he does. That's a chance to see if he can pick up the birdie. Here's Russell Knox. 19 under, second coming into 12. And he had the reaction feeling like it was just going to be a bit offline, and it falls to the right. And so that means a scramble position for Peter Malnati, his partner. 25 under for those two at the top, with a sensational Sunday round, carding the 63. Up by a shot right now. Dylan Wu scrambling, his third at 16. Shorter par 4, but they were in a tough spot off the tee, and so now that's left for par, and Lowry will hope to hold that. Ryan Palmer taking a look at his shot here at the 12th. This is the third. They had to come out of the left rough, and Zach sending it chasing out of that lie up near the green. And you can feel the sound. Just wants to try and take that leading edge, the bottom of the club with the bounce, and just get it to take over. And he really needed to calculate it off of that hill. That's solid work. Not too bad at all.
Back to the action, out to number 10.
Now Grazeman to get to 23 under. Nice little shootout going here. Takes the fair away, isn't it? You've got a fixed score to shoot at now. Good 3 to 7.
And the team of Henrik Norlander and Luke List have a birdie putt coming up. They are +1 on the day through their first 6 holes.
The difficulty for this team has been off the tee. Norlander has yet to hit a fairway when he's been on the tee. Every miss has been to the left. They also missed the fairway here. So their birdie putt is outside the other team's putt for eagle.
While we wait, let's go back to 10.
Now Hadwin.
Pretty simple read, breaking from the rights.
Gave it plenty of speed, Mark.
Oh, I'll say. Don't want to leave your partner that one, Frank.
7.
It would be the first career win for Norlander. He's lost in 2 playoffs in his career. One of them to Luke List last year, his teammate, in a 5-man playoff, and that birdie putt off to the left.
Yeah, that was at Sanderson Farms in the fall.
To 8.
Back where most of the players hit it from the tee here at 8, Dottie. Ryan Brem.
That from 93 yards,
sorry.
and it is tracking. We get confused for each other all the time.
Sorry, Dottie.
I am going to say nothing.
Lovely shot there from Ryan. He has got a big engine, swings so smoothly, doesn't he?
Colt wishes he was as popular as Dottie.
I would need security.
That's right.
Well, only 1 eagle at the 7th hole today, but Blair has this one to take the lead.
And not frightening speed. There's not a lot of break. Just off the left side. Oh, that was a pull.
And crushed it.
Yeah.
Quite interesting. He lifted that putter head up quite a long way in the backstroke there. Sort of popped down on it.
So now Fishburn comes in to try to knock this one in for birdie and a share of the lead.
Got this very cool long putter grip on it. Has the letters M, B, and T on it. Custom made for his wife's first initial and his 2 boys.
Nice.
Bo and Ty.
all around seems like a pretty chilled out, cool guy.
Completely.
His wife Madison is a nurse back in Utah as that birdie putt goes in, and now a two-way tie at the top. Well, same junior high, high school, and college. Both won the Utah State Amateur and Utah Open, both seeking their first career PGA Tour wins. For Fishburn, he's a PGA Tour rookie. He would be the third rookie to win on tour this year, alongside Matthew Pavon and Jake Knapp. To 8.
Yeah, and we mentioned it. Have a look at this drive. 328-yard carry right up there into that little gap. Absolutely perfect. And as good as Shane Lowry is around the greens, you'd expect this to be nice and close.
Just left it in a perfect spot. And you mentioned he's got great hands, and how about this, Ian?
Spectacular shot from Lowry. A lot of the pros go and ask him for advice around the greens.
Wednesday night at 10 Eastern time. Don't miss Bay FC host the Portland Thorns for the first time ever in San Jose. Catch the NWSL over on CBS Sports Network. That is a nice shot to hand over to your teammate. Lowry to McIlroy as we go to 11.
Echeverria on the tee here. Rory did tap in back at 8, by the way, for his birdie, just a foot away. These guys parred the first 2 par 5s, and that's not what you've got to do in this format. Doesn't like that one. Now Mark Hubbard. Boy, he putted so well yesterday, but they just did not drop. Maybe today. Again. Oh, this guy's got the distance, Dottie, to get there.
He does. It's also a tee shot he has yet to hit this week in this format. They switched it up today. Zach wanted to play off the odds. And interestingly enough, Ian, Patrick's never played foursomes alternate shot until Friday.
Yeah, that's amazing to be playing so well. He seems so relaxed.
He's a quick study, clearly.
And they had 70, by the way, on Friday. At 9 now.
And the par 3 is playing 177 yards today.
Wind mostly just right to left here today, Trevor. Shane Lowry, 3rd in strokes gained approach this season on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, that's why they're such a great team, because Rory can drive it so well. And Shane ordinarily good with the irons, but this one's hanging out.
He might have just fallen to 4th. Oh, but what a bounce.
Oh, did take a nice little bounce. Going to get better off the shoulder, too.
So McIlroy will have a chance to make it 3 consecutive birdies for his team.
You look from up above, the beautiful lines with this peak dye design. Kraft and Gibson, 2 players coming in and offering the consult. Now Ryan Brehm at the 9th. $21 under as a team. And looking to move this right to left. He's alongside Mark Hubbard, and he's alongside that pin as well. Definitely an opportunity to see if he can put it in position to set up the birdie for his partner. Now Henrik Norlander. And Norlander. This one up the left side, shorter 8th. But that is in that tree line, it appears. And so those offline tee shots continue. Norlander has struggled a bit in this department. Robert McIntyre looking for birdie here at 11. Straight in. Good work there. And so McIntyre, who had not seen enough of those putts go in before, looking as that one fell. And Max Grazerman, he's alongside Nico Echeverria. And sending this one up a little further, closer to the green at the par 5. Here's Dylan Wu for birdie. Uphill play at 17. Right to left break. Actually moved a little more to the right before it broke back towards the hole.
Each player on the winning team today receives 400 FedEx Cup points and a 2-year exemption through 2026, alongside entry into the 3 remaining signature events. Gorgeous look at the par 3 9th over the water, which we've been looking out our tower window. There's lots of gators running around.
Tell you what, you better not fly that drone too low.
No.
Might get snapped up.
Could be lunch. What do you see here, Colt?
This is going to be a pretty quick one. It should move really hard to the right off the putter face, because there's a big mound just left of him there, but then should flatten out a little bit. But once again, Trevor, a slow start, but they're starting to get it going now.
Yeah, just like yesterday, same thing. It was about this point where they started to get things going, and McIlroy actually caught fire with a bunch of birdies on his own ball. Need to do that again now. You got to think to yourself, 26, maybe a playoff, 27 would be outright win.
Made a pretty long one on 16 yesterday, but other than that, they really haven't made a whole lot.
Just outside of 40 feet, so speed, priority number 1.
This place will erupt if this goes in.
Good line, but leaves it short.
Seen that look from him a few times this week.
Back 1 to 8.
This is where Patrick Fishburn left his partner.
Just 66 yards and a beautiful angle. He's a shot that'll hit and release.
Beautiful shot, just the tap in left. One of the interesting things we'll see is that some guys line their balls differently, and that is something to watch as we see this shot here, just perfectly played, nice and trim divot. He is so good at the short shots.
That was wonderful technique, the way he sawed off that follow through, got the speed in the right place.
Let's see if Nico can do the same here. He's looked like he's tried to at 11.
A low driving wedge, tough hole location to get to, but that's a dandy, Finchy.
Exciting young players there, Mark.
Got a lot of flair, the youngster.
Back over to the par 3.
And a birdie putt coming for Mark Hubbard.
Ryan Brim hit a gorgeous 7-iron in here. This one going to move just a little bit to his right. Great opportunity.
Watch the follow through, kind of cuts across it.
Drops in to 22 under par. The team of Brem and Hubbard. Second birdie of the day. In best ball yesterday, Brem and Hubbard 29 on the front, but 35 on the back. As you see the large crowd around the 9th green, as Rory McIlroy makes his first appearance here in New Orleans, and now hoping his teammate Lowry can knock in this putt for par.
And I have a feeling we're going to be seeing this team many years ahead of us, because they are having so much fun out here, Trev.
Yeah.
Rory's first trip to New Orleans, and he's loving it.
Yeah, crowds have been enjoying having him here. They were telling us on the range, they were at dinner at one of the famous restaurants last night, got a standing ovation when they left.
And there's the par save for Lowry.
Frank did too, but they were just excited he was leaving.
That's true.
I wanted everybody to be happy.
Matching outfits again for Lowry and McIlroy. Lowry was asked if they'd wear green today, and Lowry said, I don't own a green shirt. So they had to pivot. White shirts, black pants on the Bayou on CBS.
This is the 15th. Mac Meisner teaming up with Austin Smotherman. So he will leave it for his partner. And that one just was offline, a good cup and a half. Justin Lowry, his stance on the hill. He had that left leg lower than his right, so you really have to allow for that. And it would promote a bit of a hook, and that did move right to left. And so Lowry watches as that one just travels up the left side of that green. Now Charlie Hoffman looking at this downhill putt. Hoffman just trying to send that one gliding down. And able to make it. He and Nick Watney teaming up. And a good putt hold. So after 2 lost shots on the back, he moves it to 1 under on the inward 9 with that made putt. And 2 under today as they take it to 20 under. This group on the back 9, working the 15th. Smotherman will look to clean it up. And safely in. So they're not able to gain any ground after the birdie from the other two. Meisner and Smotherman will head to the 16th, see what they can do there. 25 under, a tie at the top.
Good chance now for Max Graysman to get one closer.
Not too much break downhill.
Oh, wow, they're filling it up. Great birdie there at the 11th. 24 under, 1 back.
Well, there's a very interested spectator here today. That's Taysom Hill of the New Orleans Saints, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. He had dinner last night at the popular Desi Vegas Steakhouse with Patrick Fishburn. They both went to BYU. They know each other from there. So Taysom Hill, who did announce a pick for the Saints at the draft this week, back in town, dinner with Patrick Fishburn and his dad, Steve, last night. And now watching Fishburn, hopefully cheering him on to winning his first PGA Tour title. We had a chance to talk to Taysom and Patrick and his dad at Desi Vegas last night.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun getting to meet him and hang out and start to hear about their story, how they've been friends since little kids. Both amazing athletes. And he was excited about getting out here today to root on his buddy.
Likes what he sees right here as Blair and Fishburn with another birdie to 26 under par.
And by the way, the bone-in fillet at Desi's, highly recommended.
Let's go to 10.
He's going to air this one out, drive it, despite the format. So a little bit of risk.
Well, when you drive it like him, Frank, why not?
Splattered some bunkers down the right side, Colt, that have to be avoided.
Yeah, there's a little pot bunker at 360, which is scary to say that's in play.
Yesterday he got it right up pretty much green side.
This is headed towards those right bunkers. I think it has enough to cover, though.
Oh, yeah, and some more. Wow.
Would you like to drive it like that just for one day?
Wouldn't mind being there for 2. Look at that.
How do you play bad from there, ever?
This hole is 388 yards. To 9.
And our leaders on the par 3. A closer look at this hole. There's a gator in the water on that. How about that? That's incredible. Dottie, how would you compare the wind from yesterday to today?
Same direction, maybe a little lighter, but still some gusts. That's 6-iron on the way.
Careful.
For Zach.
Oh boy. Wow.
That is wet.
The one place you can't miss here at 9.
And Dottie mentioned earlier they switched up who was going to tee off on which holes for today, and it has not worked out for him on 9. Take a look. Generally plays a pretty low flighted draw. He's got that wind out of the right. Swing looks pretty solid. Hit it right out of the middle, but just overcooked on that right to left wind. Costly.
So now Luke List on the tee.
This team really needs to get back to the X's and O's of hitting fairways and greens.
2 over on their round, Dottie.
Yeah, coming off bogey at 8. That'll help.
Good way to make a comeback.
Total different trajectories there from Blair and List. Much higher from List.
Well, there are no drop zones on this golf course because every bit of water is marked as red penalty area.
So they're trying to figure out where it last crossed. Dottie, did you have any idea on that?
Best I can, way the wind was blowing the ball, the best I think they can do is get within about 60 yards of the hole.
Yeah, I agree. Kind of down near where the leaderboard is right now. Let's take a look. Okay, so starts up, but now it's already curving. I mean, maybe... See, he's not covering any land right here. So that's probably 5 yards left of the line right there. So I'm thinking on that little peninsula, as Dottie says, 60 or 70 yards out. And now, with the one-shot lead, these guys just got to make sure here. This is an important moment for them to get into damage control mode. See if they can squeeze out a bogey.
And this is something we talked about at length at the end of our broadcast yesterday, just the lack of winning experience on the leaderboard outside of McIlroy and Lowry.
Yeah, seems to me that they're headed into that spot we were talking about. So 2 club lengths from the line, no nearer the hole.
Orlando Pope, our rules analyst, is with us. And Orlando, what do you see here?
Yeah, it curved in, so it looks like they have the right spot. A little bit, about like Dottie said, about 60 yards from the green. Looks like they got it in the correct position.
Thank you, Orlando. And the ball will be above his feet. This will be a tricky little third.
People laugh about practicing your drops, but that counts.
Yeah, because that rough looks pretty thick down there, Dottie.
Yep, 2.5. Growing, patchy.
Let's see. Okay.
That's all right.
Little nestled.
He's got 45 feet of green to work with, so I think that lie is very manageable.
While we wait, let's go to 10.
And Lowry nearly pitched in at 8.
Frank, I've been around this golf course a lot, and I've never seen a tee shot here.
That was well played.
This could be an interesting moment right here. We could have a 2 or 3 shot swing between Lowry and McIlroy, and if the leaders make double at 9.
Very much so. So that makes that Ramy Trainer 25 under look good as we go to 12.
And Echeverria with his second.
Massive tee shot from Grayson, just 145 in here.
Down the back of the green, you see today's hole location. So a long birdie putt coming up for his teammate as we go back to 9, and it'll be Fishburn to play the 3rd.
Most lofted wedge in his bag is 62 degrees. Next to that is 56. I'm thinking, Trevor, this is probably the 62.
Yeah, just got to watch with the ball above the feet here that hosel doesn't get caught and twist the face closed. Aimed a bit out to the right to account for that.
Well, pretty good.
Yeah, 8 out of 10.
And Blair will be the one to putt and try to save bogey here at the par 3 9th. To 10.
Well, Trevor, you mentioned the swing. It's possible for that to happen. This putt has to go in.
Frank, they got to make birdie after that tee shot. Just a little over 6 feet. Not a whole lot of movement. If anything, going to go a little bit to his right.
Center cup.
Here they come, and they got 11, the par 5.
Certainly picked up the pace, that's for sure. Birdies 7, 8, and 10. Back in it. And of course, so many teams now really in it. Hubbard also has a chance here. I mean, they're only, well, that lead is going to change at the top 26. So look at 25 currently. They're only 3 back from what's in the clubhouse.
Frank, you know, when you play with your buddies back home, you normally say inside the leather's good. With his putter, that'd be a very short putt. That thing's about 31 inches long.
Yeah, that would have to be the shortest one on tour.
But Ryan Brehm hit a beautiful wedge. They laid up off the tee. And they're hanging around.
One of the reasons why it goes with the ultra short putter is the posture. He likes to get very bent over. So his eyes are, there's no angle. It's looking directly down. That was a good effort too. 3.5. They'll write down 4. They're not out of it. They got power. They can reach the par 5. And there's another one at 18 as well. Plenty of golf. 9.
And the big putt for Zach Blair. So his tee shot into the water and not able to save bogey. So a double bogey for Blair and Fishburn, and now Ramy and Trainer go back to the top at 25 under. Now at 12. Echeverria and Grazerman only 1 shot back. This would be for a share of the lead.
And they've got a really good rhythm going right now, the two of them. This one, though, Andrew, downhill, down grain and downwind. It will be brisk.
Strokers look great the last 2 holes. Made a couple nice ones. This one was tracking too, Andrew.
Echeverria with a smile for his teammate Grazerman.
But you get through 12 with par, that's no big deal. Now you got to get things going, especially on 13 where it's downwind.
We're here at 11.
And Lowry on the odd tees.
Starts it up the left, fading. This is right down the center. Gorgeous tee shot.
Wonderful driver of the ball. Not like Rory, though. He said he'd love to be able to drive it like his partner.
Now we head out to the tee. Take a look at the duo trying to send it up the 11th. Ryan Brehm. Part of his pre-shot is to hold that club head very still above the ball. Then once it drops and touches the earth, he is set to go. So 320 yards, moving it just a bit. Take a look at that curve, and all these players want to move the golf ball right to left or left to right, depending on the shot shape required on each hole. Well, as they walk up the fairway, you see the others taking a trip through the tree line. Robert McIntyre now. McIntyre teaming up with Thomas Dietrich this week, and second on the shorter par 4. Try and flight this low and get it to grab. And it holds about 6 feet past the pin. And that worked out nicely.
And we're back here in the Big Easy. Henrik Norlander.
Still looking for his first fairway hit today, Frank. Gonna need a good bounce for that one to add up to a 1.
No, it couldn't make up its mind. Decided the rough was better. The lie's fine. Well, Trevor, we're seeing an imbalance, aren't we? We see so many great scores, 63, 60, couple of 64, 65. Yet these, well, the last few pairings are really struggling.
Yeah, well, I think it has to do with expectation pressure. You know, some of those earlier groups went out there with one thing in mind. Look, if we want any chance to have a good finish or to even have an outside shot of winning, we got to keep our foot on the gas and shoot low and play aggressively. Now these guys are playing with total different style of pressure, and you know, maybe not taking it on as much. And I'm very interested to see with this pairing in particular, coming off of that double now, how does Fishburn react after that, and even Zach after hitting the poor iron shot into the water?
We'll see if the Blair Fishburn project can hit the reset button.
I do like the choice of this club. That's that X iron, 2 iron.
Well, that was quail high.
A little stinger.
He hit a bunch of those on the range, and it's a go-to.
Swallowed up by one of the bunkers down the right. Of course, for him, it would be a win, would be a 2-year exemption. Now across to 13, it's Thomas Dietrich. And that's another pair that are all of a sudden in the mix. Great run of birdies since the 9th. So, flair for everybody, really. Take it away, Ian.
Thanks, Frank. Shane Lowry's hit it in the center of the fairway. Rory will be first to play here as his partner looks on. He's got a wood out, Colt.
Yeah, he can definitely get there. 268 yards. He's rehearsing a big fade swing. Looks like he's going to start over there left and try to use the wind to work it towards the hole.
Yeah, a regular 3-wood too much, perhaps, or just wants to use that breeze.
Well, it started left, but it's going left.
Yeah, not cutting.
Looks like it flew the bunker, Trevor.
It's just stayed short of it, Colt.
Be interesting to see if he's got enough space for the stance there. I think he's going to.
It'll be on a slight upslope or side slope, though. It'll be a tricky one downwind.
And Dottie, conservative play, they might get punished here.
They could. It's a flag you can't chase with these conditions. Just left of the flag. Toward the left side of the tower is the play. That's a pitching wedge.
There's been a birdie hole today.
Said he hit it good.
He did. Middle of the green, but it's going to still bounce towards the back. Fishburn didn't use his power, Trevor. We saw that on 8. Had the same strategy as Rory. Rory hits driver here. They back down.
Yeah, a little surprised by that, I must say.
Yeah, I agree, especially at that time of the day when you know what the score is already leading. You've got to go for it. Now Mark Hubbard.
Very similar to Rory. Ian just hanging it out there to the left.
Always hard for a drawer to hit a fade in that left to right wind, because you fear that it's going to go lashing away on the wind, and that's exactly what Rory did. Just a pull. Didn't need much more to the right to be good. I always found that left to right wind the toughest. Robert McIntyre, the Scot, the lefty, unluckily beaten by Rory McIlroy at the Genesis Scottish Open last year. He played well at the finish. And an excellent shot here at the par 3. So playing alongside fellow European Thomas Dietrich, they're in the mix too. Knock that one in and get to 24 under. Here in the Big Easy, TPC Louisiana at the Zurich Classic.
At the tee at 17, Harry Hall. Alongside Scott Piercy this week. And trying to ride it up the right side. If it'll stay on the green, that's going to be a good opportunity for his partner, just sitting right on the edge. And for these two, they would love to see a birdie go in. They have not had one yet today. Zach Johnson and Ryan Palmer teaming up, and Zach will play this off the top edge and just roll it on. You can see down into that valley. Picks up a little speed. Doesn't quite run out the way he had hoped, moving back towards the pin. So that will mean a little bit of a longer par play. And that's when you get into that area where you just have to see those 4-footers go in. Patton Kizzire, 17 under, alongside Ben Coles. Looking to see if he can put this on a good line. And that will play just off the edge. So it looks like he still can putt that through the fringe. But trying to get a little more out of that shot. He was hoping to move it a little right to left. Here's Russell Knox putting the ball of Peter Malnati. And you get a feel, a comfort level, standing over that putt through the fringe area. You just want to make sure there's good, clean contact. Russell Knox putting for birdie. And a little off the mark. He'll leave the work for Peter Malnati to finish things up. Zach Johnson and Ryan Palmer also in this group, and Zach had to putt from off the green as well. So both teams having to work in that little ribbon of rough around the green. Ramy and Trainer at 25 under. Echeverria and Grazerman, they have charged to 24 under, share of second.
From the bunker, just left of the green, Ryan Brem's third.
Drew a really nice lie. Should be able to put a little spin on it, Ian.
Yeah, even with the downslope, not bad at all. They'll be happy with that. 8.5 out of 10. Go with Trevor's marking list here. Now over at 10.
Patrick, lengthy putt.
Lengthy putt about 55 feet into the wind, down into a valley, back up where it'll finish going right.
Not bad. He's paid his dues. Canadian Tour, Corn Ferry Tour. His first year on the big tour. To 11.
Yeah, he does have to stand in the bunker, ball well above his feet. This will probably come out a little left.
Yeah, they say luck of the Irish, Ian, but that's not the case here. Would have much rather had that in the bunker.
Oh, yeah, especially with his talent.
Now, 13, the dogleg left, par 4, Echeverria to get to 25 under. So hard to try and pick a winning score right now. Wind is not going away.
I'm going with 26.
Trevor?
I think 26 playoff.
I don't know. I think 25's even money. All up for grabs. 11.
Hold on, I'm just getting my wallet out. This is Rory for birdie. He made a good one at 10. Can he make another one?
Moving from his left to right. Oh, that is large, Ian.
That was huge. Frank, you still on?
Yeah, I'm
23 under. This is where they fired up yesterday as well,
right.
the Irish pair. Back to 10.
par putt's important too. Zach Blair now at 10.
Attitude has remained good despite the double back at 9. They got right back in the ball game.
Be interesting to see if they can reach 11 with Zach having to hit the tee shot. Wonder if he can get it far enough down there.
For 2 birdies in this group. Same wind direction. He's missed another one. Boy, oh boy, he's got to be getting in his head now.
Speed is just way too tentative on 10 and 11.
Yeah, when you're not comfortable, that's what you see. But with the wind direction, we mentioned it earlier, Trevor, same all week. Pretty much the same direction all week. The guys are getting more comfortable with this wind. They know what to expect. After the beautiful tee shot, Dietrich has this for birdie. No, tentative as well. Back into the breeze. Only 4 birdies at 14 all day. Kind of similar to 17. 3's not a bad score.
Par 3s are just so tough here, aren't they?
Yeah, they sure are.
I mean, the ones on the front are no gift either. 3 is a beast.
9.
I've seen 9 catch the leaders.
Kind of like last week. Tough 3s. Over to 12.
And the par 4, McIlroy on the tee.
Tee's moved up about 20 yards today, and Trevor, I think that allows him to cut the corner now.
Wind in and out of the left, setting up for the fade. Ooh, a little extra waggle there.
Yeah, that was different.
Yeah.
This one is very high down the right side. It's going to land eventually.
And will stay in the fairway, or maybe just, oh yeah, no, he's good. And he likes it. And he should. At 24 under par, and you think about the even holes coming in, Rory will tee off on 16 and 18 as well as we go to 11.
And now 1 back.
He backed off once, Ian. Not comfortable. Average is just 274 off the tee.
Has to get lucky.
Yeah, it has. You see that 167 ball speed. That's about the same as his partner's 2-iron.
We certainly got our fair share here at TPC Louisiana as well. Hubbard on the tee at 12.
Starts it down the left, fading right down the center.
So both teams at 12 in the fairway off the tee. It's heating up here at the Zurich.
Here's Max Grazerman. The 14th, just shy of 195 yards. And that's out to the right. He was hoping to draw it back into that pin. He's looking at the wind, and it definitely is working with an opportunity to push it towards that pin, but just not quite. Thomas Dietrich now, as we pick him up. 4 holes to play. 493 yards. Such an easy swing. Delivers quite a bit in clubhead speed. Now that's up the left side, so with the alternate shot, his teammate, Robert McIntyre, will have to accept that lie and see if he can hit his second onto the green. Left side at 14 for Adam Hadwin. Definitely trying to move it a little right to left, and he does. You can see that wind trying to help, coming in quartering from that right side. So Malnati will give his teammate a chance to hole a birdie putt. Lowry and McIlroy, colorfully comboed. They're white and dark pants today, and they are hoping that they can keep the scoring going. Lowry certainly has been an asset just in terms of keeping the atmosphere light and staying in the moment, picking one another up after tough shots. They have a total of 5 birdies against a couple of bogeys today. We'll have a look at these lies in a moment, but we'll look from up above. Peter Malnati looking at that setting of the wrist, making sure that he pulls the club back through the hitting area. Just a nice pre-shot routine. Try and create a lot of action as he turns the hands over. Shorter par 4. Play over the bunker, and you have a good angle of attack. And this will land on the right side of the fairway. Not a bad position at all.
At the 11th now, Patrick Fishburn checking his notes. He knows what he's got in front of him. Little left to right wind, pretty strong, Dottie.
It is, and there's 263 yards to the front of the green. In that bag, he's got a driver that's only been in the bag for 3 weeks, but also a 2-wood.
Yeah, I had a look at the 2-wood. Looks great. He said, well, it's tiny, isn't it? I said, no, not compared to what I used to do, so what Dottie used to use.
You were like, mate, you're talking to the wrong guy.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, that's an ideal one. Just start right, just over the tree and just let it come back. Yeah, keep the full front. Yeah, that's the plot.
Well, he had the big one out first and has put it away for that 2-wood.
It's an 11.5 2-wood.
Craig Thompson on the bag there, Aussie. He's out of Portsea Golf Club back home. I like this shot for him with that club and this shape of wind. I think he'd be able to handle this. Likes that little left to right. Maybe they're all giving a little bit too much credence to that left to right wind, Trevor.
Yeah,
they're all coming up left.
We've seen a few, and that's only about a pace from where McIlroy and Lowry were.
And they'd be happy to make 4. Just didn't come back. Perfect distance. Chavarria now for his birdie, just off the front right edge, 14.
Whoops, missed on the speed and the line there, Finchy.
Oh, Mark, did he ever?
Not making friends.
Down breeze. 15.
And here is McIntyre, just 2 shots off the lead. Second into the par 4.
Whole location down in the bowl on the right side.
And this one misses the green, and not much room to work with now.
Yeah, he's going to have a few options there, bump or a flop.
Back at 12, the second for Brem.
I would say the most gettable hole location on this tough 12th, but this one is headed right and needs to go.
He was a little uncomfortable with his swing on the range. Got there early, hit a lot of balls.
And now Lowry, who earlier in the week when asked about the alternate shot format and playing with McIlroy, he said, I'm looking forward to playing golf from the middle of the fairway. It'll be nice to have that. And McIlroy has put him in the fairway here at the par 4.
And with this wind direction and his ball flight, that tree shouldn't be an issue. This is fading and looks really good.
Oh, it is good.
That was the artist coming out there, had the tree guarding that right side, knew that if he could just skirt it past it, the wind would feed it in there.
Momentum continues for that team as we go to 14.
Yeah, big putt here too, Andrew, for Max Grazeman. This for par. Not many holes to go, and they just dropped one further back. So they will drop back to 23, 2 behind now with just 4 holes to go. It's a beautiful view on a windy day here at the Zurich Classic of New Orleans.
Birdie opportunity for Peter Malnati and Russell Knox. This at 16. Couldn't quite line it up with the cut. And so Knox has to finish things up. They had 3 birdies on the front against a couple of bogeys. Even on the back half. So right now a 1 under day as they hold at 19 under. And Knox trying to stay positive but running out of holes. They've got a couple left. Wind continuing to push through the pines, and right now Palmer and Johnson taking a look at this. It looks like they're right in that 6-foot range. Both have had a quick consult, and now it comes down to striking the putt. Palmer has just struggled in this area. They were even on the front, 1 under on the back. Now the coin removed, and you hope it's an automatic. Palmer, the win here 3 seasons ago. And he can't believe, once again, he did not have the right read. Just a little bit of a push putt there.
Going with the putter.
He had wedge in his hand, Ian, but he didn't think he could get it to stop on the downslope.
That was a pretty good break hitting the hole, or even some might say it was a bad break. It didn't hit the flag. So, but I don't think he could have chipped it any closer.
I don't either, and I think it slowed it down just a touch.
That left for birdie to get to 25 under and the share of the lead. Did have the outright lead for a while before the double at 9. Ahead 1-12.
And a chance for McIlroy and Lowry to put their names at the top of the leaderboard alongside Ramy and Trainer.
See if they can pay off that beautiful approach by Shane Lowry. This one down the hill, moving a little to his left.
Hold up.
Oh, no. I think Martin Trainer and Chad Ramy just took a deep breath.
Lowry taps in for par. So an opportunity there that McIlroy and Lowry could not capitalize on as they head over to the 13th. Back to 11.
Even that 4-leaf clover on his ball didn't help out there. Oh, yeah. That's a great birdie. Nice up and down there, Henrik.
That was also much needed.
Up to 21 under. There's a couple of really great guys right there. Good guys to sit at the bar with after a hard day. That's for sure.
Now here at 15, McIntyre trying to save par and remain at 23 under.
It's been a struggle. Drive into the bunker and missed the green. Couldn't quite hang in there and make the par.
So a drop shot at the long par 4 15th hole.
And they're starting to run out of holes. May need to push it up 16 with driver. Let's see.
Back to 11.
Okay. Big putt here. Can he take advantage?
Yeah, 2 sets of eyes on the read. This group has been warned about getting too much space between themselves and the group ahead, so we need to pick it up just a touch, see how they react to that.
Do they look a little bit slow, Dottie? Taking a lot of time, talking too much, maybe?
No, I think it was the penalty drop back at 9 that got them a little out of position. They can catch up, though.
Been playing together for a lot of years, since junior high school. But the lines, obviously this is his ball, likes those lines. And he's lined it well. Beautifully done, both groups making 4 there. And now tied at the top, Zach Blair and Patrick Fishburn, the 2 guys from Utah, Ogden, Little Town. Maybe they can win this thing.
And Blair and Fishburn, well, they're back at 12, the difficult par 4. 13, actually one of the signature holes there. You look closely, there's a big cypress tree. And that was one that Pete Dye wanted removed. Had a big argument with Kelly Gibson.
Kelly won, obviously.
Well, I saw Kelly today on the range. He said he told Pete Dye the tree was 750 years old, which isn't true. But Pete Dye believed him. And the first time they ever had actually the tournament here, Kelly Gibson hit it right behind that tree.
Serves him right.
Yeah, had to take an unplayable, missed the cut by a shot.
It's right at about 290 from the tee.
He's avoided the tree, so he's going to play it as a true dogleg. Same breeze as yesterday, but players were hitting driver left of the tree. Not get as close as they could. 15.
And here's Grazerman with his second. His 15th at 493 today.
Yeah, wind over the shoulder. Difficult to a hole location just off the right-hand edge of the green.
And he missed the little bowl, so looking up into the sky, trying to understand what happened with the wind, but that's going to be a tough two-putt from there.
Back at the 12th, our co-leaders Fishburn and Blair, and our entire crew was out on the range watching Fishburn warm up, and the driver was something otherworldly from Fishburn.
Yeah, it sure was an impressive warm-up.
It's kind of an old school setup with this driver. He's, as I said, only been in the bag for about 3 weeks, but it's got a bunch of lead tape on the bottom. Very old school.
Just explodes from the top of the backswing. Needs to hang in there. Soft first bounce. Oh, that's going to be behind that tree. There's some roots there as well. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. These guys have just made one par in their last 7 holes.
Just a great week and so much at stake, including a full exemption through the 2026 season for each player on the winning team. 400 FedEx Cup points apiece, and you earn a spot in the PGA Championship in the remaining 3 signature events here in 2024. Let's go out to 13.
See what Bream can do.
Well, Frank, when they were designing this, they probably didn't plan on it being drivable, but some of these guys can get there. 350 yards to the front, and this is torched and drawing right towards the flag.
It's a long carry over the final bunker.
Oh, it carried.
Oh,
how about that?
What a shot. I mean, I don't know what you give for effort, but execution, A+. Huge. Use your strengths. That's what you have to do in this format.
That was one of the coolest shot traces I've seen in quite some time.
Back to 12.
191 ball speed there.
Let's take another look here. He's set up down the right. Wind out of the right, so he's trying to draw it with it. There's the ball speed, 191, which is insane. 123-foot apex. And check this out.
Could have been the second hole-in-one on a par 4 on the PGA Tour. Andrew McGee still 17 back at TPC Scottsdale, the only one. So it was a bit of a mystery. Now, meanwhile, Shane Lowry, look where that's finished, in a divot, or a divot hole.
Yeah, not great, Frank. 111 yards downwind. The good news is the hole location's at the back of the green, so he can try to trap this and bring it in a little lower.
You can't try and hit this sort of shallow. Got to be moved back in the stance.
Yeah, get the hands forward through impact.
Oh, no. Just absolutely chunked it.
Yeah. Could hear it.
Little sand-filled divot. And sand got between ball and club face.
Let's take a look here.
You don't need much. Yeah, what's that? 3/4 of an inch, probably?
Yeah, with the wedge, though, I'd have felt like put it a little back in the stance, maybe play 10 feet right. That wasn't very good.
The next one's not easy, too, where the hole's cut today.
There's the explanation right there.
All right, here at 12, you saw the tee shot from Fishburn. Now Blair challenged with his second.
Trying to hit a hard, fading 5-iron. Book on him says he can hit the shots on call, on demand. That's pretty good.
He liked it.
Just off the green. And a chance to save par at 12 with the wind picking up here in Louisiana.
Now, right along the edge of this green, Echeverria for birdie. Trying to move it to 24 under. And from that length, you're just trying to make sure you give your partner a good par play. This one through the trees with the wind up. And trying to get it close to the cup. Luke List able to, at the very least, offer a solution from a tough spot for his partner, Henrik Norlander. Now the crowd gathered around the screen with Shane Lowry about to make a play. Nice tight lie. This one trying to work. Still makes things a little challenging for his partner. But looking to hand that off to Rory McIlroy. It has certainly been fun to watch these two interact as good friends and just keep the competitive juices flowing the whole time. And that is more than anything else what they're trying to do, is just stay present in the competitive moment, knowing also that they have to try and create an environment of success with one another, and playing alternate shot is not always the easiest thing to do. Now the others will start to put together their strategy. Hubbard taking a look at his opportunity, this for eagle. Hubbard alongside Ryan Brem. If they make this putt, the team of Hubbard and Brem can jump to 24 under. And the lead right now at 25 under par. They could get to within one. Great second shot in. So here's the chance to gain 2 shots. That was about a cup wide. And he knew it. So now handing it off to his partner. CT Pan is for birdie at the 14th. To move the team to 19 under. Almost, just running out of speed.
It's that wonderful Cypress tree. The other little note too on Kelly Gibson. As a PGA Tour record, most people hit in one tournament. 8.
Where did you find that stat, Frank?
From the horse's mouth.
There you go.
I'm sure he really appreciates that.
That's right. I don't think that one was for air.
And he missed the cut.
No kidding.
No, he didn't. Actually played quite well. Now, par putt.
I mean, that was really unlucky. Frank ended up in that divot, but that was just a really poor shot by Rory.
Needs to make amends here.
Right down 4. No pictures on the scorecard. Lovely pitch too from Shane Lowry. Excellent putt from McIlroy. Still anybody's game. Too tight at the top. Now, some tee shot for Ryan. Just tap it in. It's the best shot I've seen all week, that tee shot here at 13. Talk about power in the modern game, but that was spectacular. One more look at this. Just a huge hit. Across all the sand and humps and bumps. Barely missed the hole. 391. Every inch of it. It's a new breed. It's got the Terminator look on. Let's go to 12.
And the third for Fishburn.
Excellent choice. With putter, given the surrounds, it should roll smoothly the whole way. It needs to slow down now.
All in all, pretty good, Dottie.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go up to 16.
Another little short par 4, water in play. Different strategy. Now, Bob McIntyre. Another roll. Oh, would have been in too. Of course, birdie would have been great after what happened back at 15. They're running out of holes. Take away the 3 bogeys, they'd be tied. I can all say that. To 12.
All right, we saw Blair not able to make bogey back at the 9th, trying to save par here at 12.
Watch the backstroke. Picks it up steeply. Good putt.
Well done.
He did well there. Good grind out to make the 4 after the tee shot.
Just another difficult par 3, as we've said many times this week. Only a handful of birdies here. 4, in fact, today only. Only 1 at 17, the other par 3 on this 9. Downwind, front right hole location. That's why not many birdies. Hard to get it close.
Yeah, and Ian, there's a pretty severe downslope right in front of this hole location, too.
Yeah, just 9 over it from that mound to the hole location.
Ian, I think to get it close, I mean, with this wind blowing pretty hard off the right, you have to fade something, kind of hold it up against the wind.
Yeah, the best shot we've seen was Robert McIntyre. He ripped one in there about 10 feet behind the hole. He landed it at the hole on the flat.
But
Mark Hubbard has 6 iron out.
Yeah, McIntyre's the lefty, so he was able to draw it up against that wind.
Good point. These guys bogeyed it yesterday in 4-ball.
And a golf ball from 13 just rolled right in front of them across the cart path.
That was Luke List's.
It's going to be a tough chip.
Oh, wow. Went just right of it. That's not too bad, actually.
Yeah. Stop quickly into the upslope.
It's a good shot.
Tracing this hour, provided by TrackMan.
They did a good job at 13 with Brem's tee shot.
Yeah, didn't they ever? That 391 par 4. Knocked it to 15 feet. Now Rory.
Well, not many can hit it higher than this man, so he can definitely get it close.
Yeah, he's gone with the breeze. He's actually
likes it.
Little right left flight. And
that any good?
That is good indeed. Just one back. McIlroy and Lowry, the favorites here this week.
He loved that from the moment of impact. Huge club twirl.
13, Frank.
Well, Zach Blair doesn't have the firepower, so he has to go down the right.
It's just fine down the right with a back left hole, Frank.
Straighter than you can point.
Just missed the divots.
Oh, a little tight there, a little left bounce. Hole's cut on the left. Now, across to 16, Echeverria.
Went from the left. Trying to turn a wedge against that, Frank.
Hole cut in the back. Gets just over that rise. That's not too bad. So birdie putt for them to get to 24 under. Remember, the 18th hole's a reachable par 5. But McIlroy just hit one into 14. Worth another look. Hole cut front right. Hard to get it close. It's worth a twirl, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. There's the twirl. And that is the shot. They're one back.
Zach Johnson trying to take that over the tree line. He still has eyes on it here at the par 5. And that first bunker, which is about 75 yards away from the flag. We'll see what it looks like lie-wise coming up, but they are coming off bogey on the previous hole. That can be a challenge. The 17th, certainly one of the tough par threes with the wind up. Malnati and Knox now preparing for their shot into the par 5. Knox with the honors after Malnati played off the tee. So Knox hoping that he'll have a chance to reach in 2. If not, give Malnati a good opportunity to hit that third shot with just a wedge in hand. $19 under. Does he like the look of it? He does. It takes that big bounce, though. Well, that was tough to see. It just went jetting off the front. And so that's going to leave a tougher play. And they will not be pleased with the result. There's really not a lot you can do about that. Just the launch angle, it might have had a chance to slow down a little bit close to the back edge of the green had it not just taken with all that topspin, that big forward bounce. Third at the par 5, 18th for Ryan Palmer. We thought perhaps the second shot found the bunker. It did not, so it's a good lie. And Palmer, a chance to get it close to set up birdie. This could take the team back to 20 under. Clipped it nicely. And that's left for the birdie. We'll see if Zach can hold that to bounce back from the bogey.
Ryan Brown will be first to putt here, just off the edge.
This one is speedy, Ian. Straight downhill the entire way. Oh, he's walking after it.
Walking after it indeed. A little fist pump there for Ryan Bram. And they move to 24 under. They're still in this movie. Just think if Mark Hubbard's putting had been a little better today, they'd be leading. Frank?
13. Fishburn tied at the top.
95 yards, 75 to the front. Couple hops and stop.
Wow, almost no follow through.
No, there's the 2 hops and stop. Surprised that didn't kick on down breeze. Still good.
How quick did he cut that follow through off?
Across to 16. Next Grieseman. Downhill. Good effort.
Had his attention for a long, long time.
Huge putt here. Allow a little for the wind. No. Allowed too much there, Colt. That didn't come at all.
I mean, that's been the story of his season, Ian. He has really struggled with the putter.
Well, just to tidy up for the par. Disappointing, though, after such a great iron shot. That was an unusual miss for Shane to miss by that far out, that wide. Even Rory taking another look at it. Especially when you saw Ryan Brem's putt was so quick coming from that direction downwind. Tough finish. 15 and 17 are not birdie holes at all, but 18 is. Here at the Zurich. In fact, the 15th hole is a tough par 4 they'll be heading to. That's the second hardest hole on the course. Only 3 birdies there after only 4 at 14 and only 1 at 17. 14 tee where they just came from, downwind right to left, front right hole. That's why that hole's playing so tough. Remember this final group, Frank, a good hole behind.
Yes, Ian, so they have to speed up a little bit. So birdie putt missed for Zach Blair.
Putter's gone ice cold on him.
So Dottie, maybe being told to catch the gap might be affecting these guys.
No, I haven't seen anything, their behavior out of normal.
So as he looks at that, we look at 17, Dietrich for par.
Oh, wow. Oh. You know, if they knock that one in, make an eagle at the last, they're right in the thick of things. But that's an unusual miss for Thomas Dietrich. Come on. Hearing his partner say, come on, let's finish with a 4. Let's go to 15.
And Brem is on the tee. And Trevor, I'm just curious, with so many of these putts we're seeing missed, how much of that is a lack of rhythm in this alternate shot format?
Yeah, it's absolutely possible. Some of the players wouldn't have hit a putt for a while because of the format of alternate shot.
13.
Pressure starting to build too.
Yes, so they've got to knock this in to remain tied. Keep saying this is his first year on the PGA Tour, so a win is absolutely huge. Not just FedEx Cup points, but a 2-year exemption.
Shane Lowry at 15. The team 24 under. Trying to chase down the leaders. Lowry looking at this one up the right side, back in towards the center of the fairway. And the miss, most disappointing on the previous hole. We'll see what they can do here, though, at the 15th. 17 now for Nico. The Colombian, this one fanning out to the right side. And it will find that thicker rough. So from there, he'll try and hand off a shot to his partner, but that will not be an easy one. Robert McIntyre sending that one on a good line. His partner, Dietrich, just missing that putt a few moments ago, and so they have to try and bounce back from that. And they know that time's running out. These two feeling the same type of pressure. They have enjoyed the week together. And ultimately, just trying to gain that form down the stretch with a couple of important shots. Peter Malnati into the hill, trying to get a little action on that shot and see if it would slow down as it bounced up and onto the green. Instead, it advanced a little too much. So, unfortunately for Malnati, leaving his partner a very challenging shot coming up.
We are live at 14T with Henrik Norlander set to go.
7-iron, only 12 feet of green or so from the right side where the wind is blowing from. It's just an important day for him, not exempt. Every little bit counts and helps.
Will this just come back a little from? No, didn't get to the fringe. Just come back maybe an inch or two. Good shot.
Yeah, his partner's going to love that shot. Nice look there for them.
Very similar to the line of the putt where Ryan Brem just holed.
Yeah, that's the play. Yeah, solid one.
Well, certainly no problem here for Patrick Fishburn, launching one high and getting it to stop there next to the hole. He might only need one less.
He has one less. This is an 8-iron.
Even in this rare atmosphere, Dottie, he seems to be quite calm and relaxed.
I was just going to say that. They have been relaxed. They've kept the atmosphere light. You really wouldn't know Patrick's in a place he's not supposed to be comfortable.
Father Steve played college football for Weber State.
A couple sisters that played basketball.
Yeah, talented family athletically.
He thought we might see a big spike in the ratings in the Ogden, Utah area today.
Yeah. Weber State, I'm sorry to say. Come on, get down that little hill. That's a lot better now, much better angle.
Yeah, quite fortunate there.
Here's Rory.
His second at 15.
This whole location in a bowl on the right side of the green. This is 8-iron. Needs to hustle.
And just comes on. Colt only 3 birdies at 15 today. It's tied for the most difficult hole on the course, along with 6.
I'm wondering if he caught all of that. Should have been enough club with that little bit of help.
We've seen that pose a lot this week.
Yeah, no, I'm like almost. Yeah.
Now Hubbard.
I know he found the rough, but another huge tee shot from Ryan Brehm. Just 143 left and a pretty good lie in this left-hand rough.
Yeah, he is unloaded on the last 2 tee shots. Any chance of it flying, Colt?
That's the only thing I think he really needs to worry about. The rough, not the longest, but definitely could get a little bit of a jumper.
Seems like they're struggling to figure out how much help is in this wind, if any at all.
Well, I'll say, going back to Rory's shot, like it was pretty much straight downwind, a little off the right when they got up there, and then it switched to mostly across. I think that's why he came up a little short.
Yeah.
But this 143, as long as he flies at about 135, I think it should release and get there.
Just a tough hole today. Really every day.
Yeah, he's talking about being worried about the jumper there.
17.
And Max Graserman's second here at the par 3. Just pop it up there. Oh, that left for par. They're burning oil.
Well, Ramy and Trainer, they've been having lunch for a while now. What a day they had, though, tying the alternate shot record with a 63.
Yeah, that was at 11 for birdie, after birding 10 as well. Now here at 13. Dialed that one up nicely with the short iron.
They were the 6th group off today. This is the tee shot at 14.
Just all over it. So that's their 5th birdie in a row.
At 16, here's Ramy.
There's a nice shot right here. Back into out of the left wind, back hole location. Aggressive, flying it all the way back there.
And Ramy, who grew up not too far away from here, 360 miles northeast of New Orleans in Fulton, Mississippi. They finish it off with a 63, and they met with Amanda and said, we're going to get some lunch and then maybe start putting, and you never know. Right now, tied for the lead as we go back out to 14.
And Zach Blair just pitching from the front right. Very, very good player, Zach Blair. When you think about his size, he's like a 4-cylinder turbo out there with all these V8s. It's hard for him to compete. Now over to 17. Echevarria for his par. No, went the other way. That putt from that line has been going the other way.
Oh, that takes them out of it.
They're done. Over to 15.
And it'll be the team of Brehm and Hubbard first. Hubbard, born in Denver, a big Broncos fan. And he was talking about the NFL draft earlier this week, and he said, I trust Sean Payton, their head coach, who, of course, New Orleans fans know very well after his long tenure with the Saints.
Also a big Nuggets fan as well, and he was not too happy this morning after they lost to the Lakers last night. I said, I think they're going to be okay, bud. But he was really disappointed with that iron shot, Trevor. I mean, that was a great angle and just a 9-iron in.
Yeah, came out soft.
I'm guessing he played for the jumper, and obviously it didn't jump.
Yeah.
This one down the hill, moving hard to his left. Good speed.
Yeah. So they are just lingering around here. One back.
Artie, and I got to ask you, obviously, Shane Lowry, Rory McIlroy, just like you, Open champions. Out of y'all three, who had the most fun with the claret jug?
I think Shane. I had a lot of fun. I'm sure Rory did in 2014, but I think Shane, yeah, I think in 2019 he would have had an absolute blast.
Yeah, it's absolutely a race for second between you and Rory. Shane, 100%. Some of those videos afterwards, tremendous.
And because of COVID, he hung on to it longer than 12 months. Apparently, it had to be repaired.
Had to reline it.
I think the claret jug was very happy to be returned.
It's just nice to have it. Colt, thanks for the memories.
I remember watching you win that when I was all 6 years old.
In short pants.
Lowry for birdie.
Tell you what, guys, 25's looking better and better.
And going to be interesting to see what that team decides to do off of 16.
Back on the tee at 15. Here's Blair.
Now this group back in position. That is very straight left half. Should cover.
Does.
Good tee shot there by Blair. They remain tied at the top with Ramy and Trainer, who shot a 63 today. Beautiful shot of downtown. Super Bowl 59 coming in February to New Orleans.
To the 17th tee with Michael Kim. Kim trying to pick that spot to strike this tee shot. He's alongside K.H. Lee. Definitely wind behind this teeing area, so some wind aid. K.H. Lee and Kim in the alternate shot, even today. They were one over on the front, then picked up a birdie at 13. That evened up the day. Now at 20 under. It'll land softly, but off that back edge. And so Kim will leave a chip from off the green for KH. Now CT Pan. Pan will hit the tee shot. Kevin Yu will be hitting second here. It's been all about trying to figure out the best way to play the alternate shot. They can switch it up during the round, but all trying to make sure they execute with the best part of their game. Now CT Pan at 17 under, ready to go here. Out to the right. Deep enough though? Actually not. It'll come up to that front portion, so that's well away from that flag. So his teammate Kevin Yu will have to chip from there.
We are back at TPC Louisiana.
And a wonderful view from above to see what's in play. The water down the left side, awkward shaped fairway.
If you go down the left, Frank, you're looking for something around 230 off the tee, but this is headed right and probably needs to go to cover that bunker.
Well, it did cover the bunker, and it's not a bad lie. So 240, get over those bunkers. 260 in a straight line at the water down the left side. And Trevor, yesterday we were surprised in the other format he didn't go with driver, but today you can lose it on this hole, but you can't win it.
Yeah, I actually asked him this morning why he didn't pull driver. He said with that left to right wind, it's not a comfortable shot for him. Rather put a wedge in his hand and take the risk.
If you're going to lay up, got to get it in the fairway.
Giddy up.
Oh my, Trevor, that's a big mistake.
Oh. We hoping for a nice lie for his partner.
All that fairway to the left. One more look. See, he's aiming down the left side.
Yeah, trying to hit that bleeder fade on the wind. Little cross the line as always. Gets the club just out in front. Face a touch open at impact, so it started more right than what he wanted.
And just went on the breeze. Same breeze as yesterday. They will need a good light. It's far enough back. Not the longest of shots. See what happens there as we go to 15.
And here's Fishburn.
Got a touch of a hanging lie. 200 yards right on the nose, and his partner said, you know, that was a really good tee shot for me.
And this is a really good second.
Sure is.
And he also said, if you just keep hitting it, I am going to make you a putt before the day's out.
Well, here's his chance. It's going to be a awesome opportunity to take the lead.
McIntyre out of just a little bit of a patchy lie. Third at 18. And this one onto the green and about 8 feet from the flag. So it gives his partner, Dietrich, a chance to hold the birdie putt. Now Norlander digging in here at the 15th. And looks like he had a bit of a challenging lie because that comes up well short. So that means that his partner, List, has got to bail him out. That'll be a scrambling four if they can make it. Rory McIlroy, you can see eyes surveying, making sure they've got the right strategy in mind. And they come up the back nine, working 16. Thomas Dietrich now with this birdie try to finish up the week. That is in. Good work. Way to finish up with a score on the card. So he and the Scot wrap up their week and have to feel pretty positive. And so the smile from the Belgian. Now we'll look back from this pin cut to the back portion. You can see from that angle, if they take driver, they've got a good opportunity to operate with a wedge in their hands compared to yesterday. Definitely a different strategy. Second at 17, K.H. Lee. Oh, nice sturdy shot there. And he will have a chance to hand off a par-saving putt to his partner.
It's the tee shot of Rory McIlroy, Cole.
Yeah, good news is he drew a really nice lie, has 133 left. That was a pretty shocking miss off the tee, though, from Rory. that really nice. Looks good.
Got it the right distance. Very makeable. Excellent shot. It was a good strike, wasn't it? Ball first. Catch any sand behind it, you're in trouble. 18.
And Echeverria off the fairway.
Strong wind off the right, and that's a beautiful strike from a perfect lie.
And just comes up a little bit short of the green. You see today's hole location in the back left. Now at 15, Blair has this putt for birdie.
Can he deliver on a promise?
Nope.
Golden opportunity missed, particularly with McIlroy and Lowry in with a chance to tie at 16.
216.
Now, Bream.
Frank, his partner Mark Hubbard is obviously really stressed. Just came over and asked me for a score of the Colorado Avalanche game. Told him they were winning. He did some dance that's really not suitable for television.
Well, I tell you, they knock that in, they can do their own dance, do what they want, really. Good second shot. Back a hole.
And Norlander has this putt for par.
The troubles for this team have continued off the tee, played out of the left fairway bunker. This was a third of about 80 yards. Nothing's been easy today.
Big putt, though.
Yeah, still a lot to play for that team, holding on in a tie for 10th. Norlander 132nd in the FedEx Cup standings coming in here.
And now it's Fishburn. And still tied at the top at 25 under par with 3 holes to play. The winning score a year ago was 30 under par by Nick Hardy and Davis Riley. Back to 16.
Nice little intimate part of the golf course here. Water and play at the back of this green. Laps around the 17th, par 3.
And that was a heck of a shot from Shane Lowry. Now a pretty good look for birdie here at 16. And with how hard 17's playing, Frank, you think you got to make it either here or 18.
Well, this would go a long way, that's for sure. Free him up for the last 2 holes. Miss this, then the work is really difficult.
Yeah, he's looked at it from both sides a couple of times. I believe it has to move to his right.
His first time here, so some of these can't use memory with some of these putts. Down breeze as well.
How about it, Frank?
What a 3. Made a big putt on this very green yesterday. So maybe the pendulum switches it towards them as 3 tied at the top. One more look.
What a great read it was. Had quite a bit of turn from the left.
Hey, it was all set up by the tee shot.
Yeah, he sure does like this 16th green. We've had 2 nice fist pumps from him this weekend.
Larry's got to get a lot of credit for that second shot, though, getting it hole high out of the fairway bunker.
You know, Andrew talked about some of the players not making putts. A lot of it boils down to winning experience. Rory with 24 PGA Tour wins. The rest of the top 8, only 6 wins combined. He's showing that experience here down the stretch.
Of course, they have one of the most difficult holes on the golf course next, the par 3, and the reachable par 5 18th. So the same for Hubbard and Bream.
Has made nothing all day. Now is the time.
Could be a 4-way tie.
Oh, just ran out of speed.
To the right again. They've played well today. Got off to a good start. And probably the biggest shot all day coming up on the very next tee. It's playing straight into the breeze. To 18.
And here's the third for Grazerman. Okay. Let's check in with Amanda.
Opportunity for Echeverria to finish that play from Max Grazerman, and he can pick up the birdie to take them to 23 under par. Luke List and Henrik Nolander just really haven't been able to get the Jets firing today. They were 2 over on the front, only 1 birdie on the back to change it back, or to take it back to 1 over par. So trailing right now by 4 shots.
And they are headed to that tee shot that you described so aptly, Frank. Toughest shot of the day. 188 yards straight into the teeth of that wind. Back to 16 tee.
They're also tied for the lead, and this time Fishburne's going to go with a lot of club.
They also heard a lot of noise up ahead, but they don't know who made it.
This is it right here. Driver.
Well,
As Wainwright needs to continue to get more right if he's going to have a clear shot.
Somewhere up in there.
that is rolling the dice down that right side. Ian.
Back in the third round. Frank at 16.
Yeah, this was the strategy. Yesterday was better ball. So the strategy, Larry hit it in the water with a 3-wood. So hopefully Ian, he has erased that from his memory banks.
Yes. But yesterday here at 17, he hit an incredible shot. And just goes to show what he can do. Bounce back after the disappointment at 16 to the toughest shot of the day. And just rifled a 5-iron right at it.
Afterwards, Rory called that the shot of the day.
I just loved Rory's response. But he doesn't have a backup today. It's just him.
And Ian, the wind is blowing about as hard as it has all day. This 180 playing close to 200 yards. And this one is way out to the right.
We've seen that all day. That's the miss. You've got to miss the water. They've got to be thinking if they par this one, they can birdie the last to get to 26. But that's not going to be easy. So much will depend on the lie there.
And how much of that shoulder off of the bunker is going to come into play. That's what could really make it tricky.
Here at 18, Echeverria for birdie. To 23 under par. They were 4 under through the first 11 holes, but bogeys at 14 and 17. A 69 today and 2 shots off the lead.
And that's going to be Nico's first top 10 of the season. Well done.
So you go from 7 to 5. Yeah. And you got 10 behind. All right. Good committed swing.
One back.
And a huge moment for him. He's made just 4 of 11 cuts this season. A lot of pressure on this shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Feeling it. Wait for what you want. Right here, dude.
just trying to figure out the wind. Colt, I mean, after seeing that first one from Shane, unusual whip across from the wind, maybe he's thinking, do I just trap this low, try and draw it back into the breeze? But anywhere on the green would be exquisite.
That's what he was hitting on the range in the warm-up, was low penetrating draws.
Oh, wow, he flushed this. This is right at it.
What a shot there from Ryan Brem. Shot of his life. 12 feet left for birdie. Can Mark Hubbard knock one in here just when it counts? This would tie the lead with 1 to go. Live now with Rory. Can he get it high enough to avoid that bunker? Just a little aggressive.
That was all because he had to come over that shoulder.
Yeah, he had to fly it over it, didn't he? Try and get it up in the air into the wind. Just didn't spin. Damage done with the tee shot there. That's a huge gust of wind for Shane's tee shot. Left him in a difficult position. It's good contact here, Trevor. He did pretty much all he could do.
Yeah, and Lai was quite clean because it had been trampled down by the fans.
And into a bit.
Now back at 16, Duddy, I thought the tee shot was on the pine straw.
It was, but he was behind the shot link radar tower, so he got a drop, and not just a drop into the more pine straw, but onto the good turf.
Well, nearly gets it over the hill. So good break, and that outside chance of making 3.
Gosh, he had a clear shot to the hole location there. Massive break.
Of course, Fishburn, who hit it there, he had his eagle eyes on that. Just go a little further, go a little further. Yeah, you can have a birdie putt. Just got a 2-year exemption riding on it, he was saying.
Only that? Yeah, lots riding on for all of these guys. Trevor mentioned a great stat there before. Rory with 24 wins. The other last 8, just a quarter of that in total. Both reading the putt. It's an important one, this to stay tied at the top. If they could make this and birdie the last, 26 under is a pretty good number.
That second shot for Rory was just so difficult, Ian, having to land it on that downslope. And they're still away. They've got a good 15 feet left for their par here.
Well, Colt, you mentioned a few holes ago how Shane's been struggling with the putting. This season, he's got the new putter in the bag. Be a good time to make one right here.
Yeah, he's often thought of as a really, really good putter, but he hasn't been positive strokes gained putting very often. In the last 5 years, only once. Quickly back to 16.
And Fishburn now.
Slow one up the hill into the wind.
17.
Live with Shane. So close.
How did that miss?
So now they'll need to birdie 18 to tie the clubhouse lead.
Have the length to get there in 2, though. Maybe a putt like Martin Trainer had for eagle.
Yeah, could leapfrog.
This has been so difficult. If they're not right in line with the cup, it breaks off to the left or the right, almost like the holes on a volcano. It was a good putt.
But you can see how irritated he is there because he knows he let the team down with the poor iron.
But you know, in team golf, Trevor, don't you? You know, you're doing the best you can.
Of course.
And Rory will say, don't worry, mate. We'll birdie the last. That's okay. But this is huge. 2-shot swing here if he could knock this in.
And pretty cool moment, Ian. While Shane Lowry and Rory were going through their read, Ryan Brem had his arm around Mark Hubbard, who has not made anything all day, giving him a little pep talk.
I'd say to him, give it a little more speed, Hubs.
What an iron shot. See if they can pay it off.
Doesn't come back. If it's right of the cup, it keeps going right. If it's slightly left, it goes left. Just hasn't had it the last couple of days. Rolling past the edge so many times. So both Bram and Hubbard, McIlroy and Lowry have to birdie the last to tie that lead score set by Ramy and Trainer. 2:09 local, 2:09 central is when these guys finished. They had a chat with Amanda, had a couple of beignets, little etouffee, some gumbo. We showed their highlights. They're out there having a putt. And I think they've got some more work to do. That's what I think. Martin Trainer. Rory and Shane head over to 18.
And here is the par 5 finisher, 579 with the wind down and out of the right. Obviously the water is where you want to miss, but if you stray too far left, those bunkers can cause a problem. With that wind and the length that these players are hitting it, they can get up into no problem. But just the one eagle so far today at 18.
All right, here we go. Trevor, wind hard off the right. Oh, what a tee shot this is. Perfect.
Both these teams made pars here a couple days ago in this format. They'll need better than that today. No wasting time, Colt.
No, it's time for him to do what he does. He can start it up the right and ride that wind.
Setting up for the hold-up fade.
Well, it starts up the right and it's drawing and it is hammered.
Another big club twirl from Rory. He loves it. What's not to love?
327 carry. Take some of that.
Let's go back one.
Okay, just this last group to play this most difficult hole.
And he just saw Luke List hit 6-iron in the water. This is 4-iron.
Yeah, Luke hit 6-iron on the green here yesterday when everyone else was 30 yards short with 5 irons.
As you might think, out to the right.
Just had to keep it out of the water.
It's dry. It's okay.
Great spot for Lowry after the tee shot by McIlroy.
And guys, Rory only outdrove Mark Hubbard by 73 yards.
And there's a good look at the distance between the two. Bram will be first to play.
The good news is he can smash it, but he has 291, so he's going to have to get every bit of it. Trevor, if he can get in that front bunker, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah, he had a beauty in here with a long iron yesterday. He's aimed right. He's to turn.
Oh, he's barking at it.
Oh, yes. What a shot. Will it stay on?
Wow, that was smoked.
Oh, it just rolls off the back. Wow.
Little unfortunate. 291 just crushed the fairway wood. The quality of the strike on the long iron into 17 and then that shot, really impressive.
Amazing. 17.
Big open face lob wedge here. Has to try and get it up high with as much spin as possible.
Upstairs, landed on the downslope.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, that was a hard shot at that time. That much pressure on the man. Maybe only a yard more and it rolls down that slope to the pin.
Pressure exposes your weaknesses.
It certainly does. Grainy turf there. Had to get it up in the air, landed just on the top of the knob.
Contact was terrible though, Ian.
You know, guys, he's been chewing that gum since he's been on the range. It's double time now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now Lowry.
Just 2:18 left, 2:01 covers, but this is pulled.
That's going to keep feeding down. Will it stay in the fairway? Yeah, just a little bit of an awkward spot. And we just spoke about the quality of strike for Bram. Let's think of the last two approaches that Lowry hit the one into 17, flared out. That one pulled. Gonna need something special to tie.
Have to get up and down from there to get to 25 under. Ramy and Trainer continue to loosen up as we go back to 17.
Has to make this to stay tied. Oh, wow. And now even more pressure on his partner. That one left for bogey. It has been a tough hole all day, all week. Only 19 birdies in total for the week, only 2 today. And the reason is you've got to pick the wind, and it's right on the nose. And if it gusts a little bit one way or the other, it turns a decent shot into a bad one. And then, as we just saw, chipping around this green is so difficult. Very grainy Bermuda. Not easy over here at 18 either, with sort of a little side slope there.
Well, there's all the crowds. We mentioned it. They are all funneling in to see if Rory and Lowry can provide some drama on 18.
Got a great ovation as they were walking up here.
Trevor, the good news is it did stay in the fairway, and he's going back into the wind, so he should be able to put some spin on it. And he actually practiced a shot very similar to this right before they headed to the first tee with Shane Lowry's golf ball.
Okay, so you think that he can fly this into the wind all the way up onto the green with a lot of spin?
I do. I think that he has to. I just think if you try to bump it, it'll kick it so hard right, it'll be very tough to judge.
And we've seen him hit some incredible chips and pitches in the past. Has the ability to put a ton of spin on it.
With that being said, he's not opening up much, and they're pretty small rehearsals, so he might be going with a bump.
Look at the crowd behind him.
Yeah, he's got it pushed back in the stance. Flying it.
Checks
so
up.
Good.
What a shot. The fans love it here at 18 as Lowry will have that putt to get to 25 under par. Back to 17.
And just his 11th career start on the PGA Tour for bogey.
Oh boy.
That is hard to take.
That's their second double bogey on a par 3. Remember the 9th?
Correct. 9 and 17. That was the first double there all day. Unfortunate. Up to the last.
And beyond the green, Hubbard with his third.
This is a tough one here. He's got to bump it into the slope. And Trevor, we've raved about his short game all week. Let's see if he can do it here. Oh, just dug in.
Yeah, second bounce got him. Actually, the contact was pretty good. Second bounce into the upslope and into the green. Killed it. Contact nice. Then right there. Look how soft that second bounce was.
Trevor, it's just dead into the green. You got to just hammer it when you bump it into these slopes.
Well, this tournament has provided some 72nd hole drama in the past. 2017, Kevin Kisner holed out for eagle. That forced a playoff. And now it'll be up to Brem and Lowry for these respective teams.
Andrew, I believe he's going to be calling an official. There is a sprinkler head in front of his ball that's covered, but I do believe he'll get relief from it.
Orlando Pope is with us. What can you tell us, Orlando?
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. It's one of the turf plugs that the sprinkler heads is covered with the turf plug, so he will get free relief from there.
Yeah, and Orlando, you went over that with our crew during our Saturday morning weekly Zoom call, so you We're ahead of the curve on that one. Well done.
Yeah, that's an obstruction. So 2 and 2 counts for that.
Okay, now what happens if I drop it and it rolls backwards?
It rolls backwards, and if it rolls outside the relief area, it's just so if you're near a point of complete relief, let's call it right there. Right at 1 club length. 1 club length is the relief area. So
we can go no meters. Trying to get meters. Let's just see where that goes. Where are we? Right? So our nearest point is going to be right here.
Yeah.
Right, right here?
Yes, 1 club length from that. You can measure either direction. It's no closer.
I'm worried about where that ball is, and I might still play. But from here, it's definitely more makeable, but it's more in the grade. I think it could. Yeah. Actually, once it gets in here, it's pretty good. I prefer to come over, but I don't want it to roll back down. It's all down grade.
So they're just taking a little time here, trying to figure out the best place to drop so that they get the lie that they want and get the grain that they're looking for putting through this piece of fairway.
And Trevor, as they told him, if it rolls down the hill and it rolls more than a club length, he gets to place it. Oh, wow. I do not think he expected that to stop there.
Tee shot for Fishburn, and this team needs eagle now on 18.
I think that ball maxed out at about 10 feet off the ground.
And still rolling. All right, so this is what Brem has to have go in.
All the while, McIlroy and Lowry put on ice here after Rory's great pitch.
Yeah, I'm guessing Shane Lowry is wanting to get this moving.
I haven't seen him walk in to take a look at the line at all, Colt.
No, he hasn't. He's got just right around 3 feet. But you said it, Trevor. I mean, the tee shot at 17, that 3-wood into 18. Now see if he can make one of the biggest putts of his life.
Brem has won once on tour. Hubbard winless in his PGA Tour career. Can they find some magic here at 18? Oh, he thought he had it.
Just too much speed to take the break.
Trevor, I think the wind held that up a little bit as well. He thought he had it.
Yeah, here it's turning in, and then it actually goes right with the wind, like Colt mentioned. He loved the look of it. And now,
yeah,
gosh, now Rory and Shane are going to wait even longer. They still away, these two, Brem and Hubbard.
It's a cruel game, Trevor.
Whew.
Ramy and Trainer watching on as now Hubbard for par, and you see the disappointment for Brem. So close after such a great week for these two.
This is no gimme, and he struggled with the putting and into the shadow.
A 69 for Brem and Hubbard. And they're still in disbelief.
It's a great fight, great play from that birdie at 9 onward.
And now after a long wait, Lowry to get to 25 under.
Definitely inside the hole, Trevor. I mean, the wind is just gusting so hard right now.
That Irish flag blowing in the wind as this Irish team for birdie. Yes! A bumpy start for McIlroy and Lowry, but they have more golf to play.
Pretty clear to me who these fans want to see win.
All right, back in the fairway, Luke List will be first to play.
Blown off the shot by a huge gust. 276 total off a slight upslope. That is a bullet.
Yeah, that wind certainly, Dottie, this is some of the stronger gusts we've seen this afternoon.
Zach has 242 front, 269 total downslope.
They have to make eagle to get in the playoff.
Just give your partner a chance if you don't find the putting surface.
And way out to the left. Into the crowd, and they'll have to hold that shot.
We've seen it happen before.
We have. We talked about Kevin Kisner. Meanwhile, McIlroy and Lowry. You go back to the chip from Rory at 18. And then a long wait for Lowry. But he delivers with the birdie putt to 25 under par. And we're going to have a playoff in New Orleans.
25 under for the two teams tied at the top, and we will head for sudden death soon.
You are watching live final round coverage of the Zurich Classic of New Orleans. We know we'll have at least two teams in a playoff, possibly three. And here's the playoff format. They play 18 again in the alternate shot format, and the team can pick whichever player they want to go off the tee. If it's still tied after that first hole, then they'll go over to the par 3 ninth, and they would play best ball, which was the format in the first and third rounds, and they would alternate that rotation.
I like it. Sounds fun. And there's those two holes, 18 below, 9 up above. The tough par 3. But Blair and Fishburn, they want to join that playoff.
Sure
make
do.
This.
They've received support throughout the week from another Utah native, Tony Finau, who's rooting them on.
Did you get eyes on it, Dottie?
I have. It's not an easy shot because of the severity of the upslope before the putting surface. A little bit of working in their advantage is the wind, because they can throw it up in the wind and it'll parachute down.
Yeah, that's what Rory did. He went with the spinner. This one going low.
Well, not a bad shot, but not what they needed. Such a great week for these two. But they're going to come up short as Norlander with his third out of the greenside bunker. So Ramy and Trainer finished almost 3 hours ago, 2:09 Central Time. It's 4:54 right now. And you look at the experience in terms of winning tournaments. Rory, 24 wins on tour, 4 majors. Lowry, 2 wins on tour, 1 major. Ramy and Trainer have each won once in their PGA Tour careers.
Yeah. Ramy and Trainer trying to take down the Giants. They've had so long to sit in the clubhouse and go onto the range and the putting green to think about the possibility of winning this tournament, being in a playoff. It's going to be quite interesting to see with what kind of energy they come out into this playoff.
Trevor, I just got a note from your brother, Mark, who talked to Chad, and they were not anticipating 25 having any chance of holding up and consider all of this a bonus.
Yeah, neither was I, to be quite honest.
It's a good way to look at it. Here's the list. This team never got going today in the final pairing, but they shoot a final round 75.
Drop into a tie for 19th. Tough Sunday.
And Blair will have that putt for birdie as McIlroy and Lowry get some food in them before going right back out to the 18th.
Just think about how the par 3s undid this team. The 2 doubles at 9 and 17. And unfortunately for Zach, the putter didn't cooperate either today.
So a tie for 4th for the Utah natives and the 2 good buddies who go back to their junior high school days. A even par round of 72 today.
And congrats to Zach and his wife Alicia, their 3rd child, baby girl Isabel Maria, born 6 days ago.
And certainly a big week for the Blair family. All right, just a reminder, McIlroy and Lowry against Ramy and Trainer, and the first playoff hole will be alternate shot on the par 5 18th. Playoff coming at the Zurich Classic on CBS.
Taking a look at the way the day unfolded, Martin Trainer off the edge at the 10th, and this team really set sail on the field on the back 9, trying to get themselves fired up, fans engaging, and another beautiful read as they were able to pocket the birdie. At the 11th, they would have birdies at 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. Now the approach at 13. At this point, a 5 birdie run over 6 holes, and then on the back 9 they just kept stitching together scores. And so with the alternate shot, he would make the putt, and so Ramy would take them to 5 under on the back 9, with this tee shot setting him up here at 14. What a great tee shot with that wind pushing in from the right side, so an easy play. Then they lose a shot at 15, but come right back with a chance to rejoin the lead as that one is below the hole in the 6-foot range. 24 under, and now attacking here at 18. 8 under round, trying to put one more on the card, and this one would run to the back edge, and from there setting up a 2-putt birdie. So they would have just one bogey on each 9, but look at the back half, only one par on the back 9, coming in 30 for a 63.
Playoff coming at the Zurich Classic of New Orleans. Chad Ramy and Martin Trainer against Rory McIlroy and Shane Lowry. Dottie Pepper will be with Ramy and Trainer, and Colt Knost will be with McIlroy and Lowry. Just such an odd situation for Ramy and Trainer, as we've been talking about, to have such a long layoff. How they come out and respond is going to be fascinating to see.
And it's a dramatic first shot with the water all the way down the right. It could be over real quick. Here's our man Jay-Z legging it again. We saw this at the Tour Championship last year.
Look at that. That's unbelievable.
Him and the rest of the crew working hard as always.
Well, as we mentioned, each team can select which player they want to tee off first, and you got to imagine it's going to be Rory, just what they had in the last time out a short time ago.
You would think so. And Martin Trainer teed off in regulation when they played this 18th, even though that was 2 hours and 45 minutes ago.
Yep. Another look at this 18th hole, Trevor.
Yeah, and that wind coming hard out of the right, so players trying to find a way to keep it in that strip of fairway. Those bunkers down the left do have some deep lips, so if you get caught in there, you won't be able to get up in 2. If you do find the fairway, both teams will easily be able to get up, and that whole location in that little plateau there falls off on all sides. Tee shot, vitally important to get some momentum. If I was in this position, I would want to be the team that tees off first. Go ahead, get a good tee shot down there, and really heap the pressure onto the other team.
Top of the hour from TPC Louisiana, and we're about to begin a playoff at the Zurich Classic of New Orleans. Rory McIlroy, playing in this event for the first time in his career, had a great line earlier this week. He said, "It's my 17th year of professional golf, and to still be able to do something for the first time is pretty cool."
If we come back here, Rory, the other player has to tee. Okay. With me? Okay. Okay. All right. Very good.
Steve Rintoul just going over the rules and the formats.
And because Ramy and Trainer finished first, they have the honors.
And this is Martin Trainer's weapon right here, the driver. He's 26th in distance on the PGA Tour this season, 307 average. How's the body language down there, Dottie?
I don't see anything different from what you would normally experience. What I did see is that Rory McIlroy and Shane Lowry's cart is going to need some juice if they play more than one hole. They barely made it to the tee.
It's a short walk to 9.
Okay.
If they need to go anymore.
Both these teams made birdie here during the 4th round. We just saw McIlroy and Lowry a short time ago.
Over 3 hours since he's last hit a shot.
Down the left side.
Not sure if that dove into one of the bunkers or not.
Nope, it's short and sitting up nicely.
Okay.
Okay. McIlroy would like a carbon copy of his tee shot on the 72nd hole.
So would Shane Lowry. He walked by me and goes, I didn't know what to do from up there, having just 218 in regulation. Oh, this is mishit, Trevor.
The wind is pushing it back, though. Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a heel strike. The one hand came off with the way that ball was flying, at least. A little lower than normal.
It's about 80 yards behind his tee shot in regulation.
But you know what? It's dry.
We'll be back at the Zurich Classic of New Orleans in just a moment.
Well, the players that are in position to collect those 400 FedEx Cup points each will see if it's a possible second win for Trainer and for his teammate, as they are hoping that they can get into the winner's circle. And of course, for Rory McIlroy and Shane Lowry, they're hoping that they'll have a chance to score another victory. And they have been decorated winners. Lowry, the Claret Jug, World Golf Championships victory as well.
Welcome back to the first playoff hole of the 20th Zurich Classic. The Trainer team will have 266 front, 293 to the hole. Colt, what do you got?
I got him at 283 yards all in. He is 65 yards shorter than his tee shot in regulation.
Great to see you guys here on the first playoff hole. And as Dottie pointed out off the tee, it's a pretty good lie coming up for Ramy.
Yeah, the only thing I'm interested in, Dottie, that bunker lip in front of him, does it pose any issue at all?
It does not.
Okay. So lie was good. So they're in great shape. The other team is in the fairway.
Dottie, it seems like the wind has calmed down just a little bit compared to when we were with the 72nd hole.
Yeah, I think the gusts have laid down.
Yeah.
I'll give you that, yeah.
Okay, I'll take it.
Ramy's normal ball flight is a decent sized draw. So with this wind, he's going to have to start this down that right side.
Yeah, if he starts at Trevor at the Big Z in Zurich on the build out, I think he can just ride it in there.
Yeah.
Again, the lie is great. Solid contact. Takes the lip of the bunker completely out of play.
Okay, so that was the shot he hit in regulation.
This lie is as good as you could find in the fairway. If not a little bit better because it's sitting up a touch.
Yeah, a little cushion.
Yep.
Ryan Goebel is caddy.
This is 3 wood in his hand. Thank you, Brian.
Oops.
Oh boy.
That's left and going more left.
Wow. And that's going to be a crazy angle to the hole location today.
Yeah, going to take a little time to get relief as well.
Well, and here's the thing. It is 5:08, so 2 hours and 59 minutes.
It's an uncomfortable shot when you drove the ball with water down the right and wind out of the right. What do we got here, Colt?
256 front, going with 3 wood. Trevor, his last 2 full swings haven't been very good.
Yeah, one right, one left. But this looks pretty good.
He's walking after it.
And it catches the bunker, but it's okay there.
Awkward, awkward. Rory may be standing with one or both feet out of the bunker there.
And he liked it too. Club twirl.
Thought he had enough air under it to carry.
Yeah, there's the reaction. See what McIlroy can do out of the bunker. Playoff here in New Orleans. Well, McIlroy's had some magic around this 18th green this week. This was yesterday out of the same bunker, different hole location. Absolutely spectacular shot by McIlroy. And then again today on the 72nd hole, a fantastic chip to set up birdie for Lowry.
Degree of difficulty completely different though. Yesterday was quite an easy, basic, straightforward bunker shot, especially for somebody with his talent and class. But this one much tougher because of the lie, because he's got to go up and over a ridge. So it'll be interesting to see what style of shot he goes for.
So Trainer's going to walk it off, trying to get an accurate yardage here.
Andrew, he's literally counting outside to himself as the steps are rolling up.
The whole location, like 4 paces on, and you see the wind will be right in his face.
So on that angle, he's got about 7 paces of green to work with.
Anything right of the flagstick is going to kick right.
Yeah, off of the plateau. Good news for him is the lie will be clean, Dottie.
It will. Where he's got the tees down, it looks like it could be a touch of a downhill lie, but there shouldn't be a whole lot of friction.
I think they're trying to figure out here, get a little perspective from his partner, what he thinks about the right shot should be. Is it worth bumping it into the bank or taking the aerial route up onto the surface?
And think one shot ahead. Where do you want to leave your partner with an opportunity?
Yeah, my answer to that question would be, look, just get me on the green, get me a putt at this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's continue to put the ball back in the other team's court and say, okay, we got a birdie chance. Let's see what you guys can do.
2 drops in place as it rolled closer to the hole. That's a high route sort of practice stroke to start anyway.
So from front to back for him, this piece of green he's aiming at about 14 yards.
Chunked it, Trevor.
Way short. And the door is wide open for McIlroy and Lowry.
Sure is, because that's no gimme up and down from below the level of the green. Colt, is he going to need to get 1 or 2 feet out here?
I think he's going to be able to get all the way down in the bunker, Trevor. He went in and checked it out, had both feet in, but it is below his feet. And I mean, the sand this week is really soft. I expect him to kind of hit a little chunk and run here, especially with what the other team did.
Yeah, and Rory showing his experience, just taking a little extra time, letting the crowd gather back into position and settle down a bit. This is a man who's been there before, done it all.
He's won 24 times in his PGA Tour career.
Okay, it is up on top.
So Lowry, as we've chronicled throughout the broadcast, has struggled with his putting all season long. At the Masters, he confessed he's lost confidence on the greens. He has a huge putt coming after this McIlroy bunker shot.
Yeah, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
Really about an 8 out of 10 there from Rory.
What's the play here, Dottie?
I went with putter and never thought about anything else. I really like this play.
The key, if you're going to go with putter and having to putt through this much fairway, is the first 5 feet of the roll. If it starts bouncing early, it's going to lose all momentum.
It's got to be accelerating in a big kind of way and a solid strike.
So Lowry has a putt for the win. A partnership that was formed over a celebratory lunch after the Ryder Cup last fall. At Christmas time, McIlroy texted Lowry and said, hey, we're still going to do this, right? First time McIlroy has played in the Zurich Classic in New Orleans, and now Lowry has a chance to give them the victory.
It's the kind of putt you would want to win a tournament. Little uphill, right to left.
And Trevor, I'd say it's a little bit on the slow side, and that wind's blowing pretty hard from his right to left as well.
This is right at 15 feet. So far this season, he is 33% from 10 to 15 feet. But this is when you dig deep.
Oh, wow. Trevor, that was right below our tower, and it looked like a great line.
At that speed, you thought it was just going to die in there with the wind out of the right. So Trainer and Ramy with a lifeline here. Right about here, I thought the wind was going to knock it. This is a great angle. Bouncing.
So Ramy and Trainer, who started the day 7 shots off the lead. Go out an alternate shot and shoot a 63 to tie a tournament record, and now Trainer a chance to extend the playoff.
Pushed it.
Missed it. And it's an Irish party in New Orleans. McIlroy and Lowry win the Zurich Classic. It's a milestone win for McIlroy, the 25th of his PGA Tour career. Tommy Armour, Johnny Miller among those with 25.
Oh, goodness.
And the first time Lowry has won since the 2022 BMW PGA Championship. How about the putt? And he knew it.
Yeah, it was a push right off the bat. The emotions of winning and losing.
How about that reaction? Two guys that were friends and competitors growing up, and they partner up for the first time as McIlroy moves to 15th in the FedEx Cup standings, Lowry up to 12th. And Amanda is with the champs.
First time in New Orleans for Rory McIlroy, first win in New Orleans. It's a milestone one for you, number 25. Shane, this is your first win on the PGA Tour since winning the Open Championship. What does it feel like to get this one done together?
Absolutely amazing. You know, we've had an awesome week here in New Orleans. You know, the crowds all week have been absolutely amazing, and to get the support that we've had out there and to have so much fun while doing it, it's been an awesome week. And obviously I feel like it's just a bonus to win at the end, but couldn't be better to have this man alongside me to get a PGA Tour win together.
How satisfying is this one for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's saying it was much needed, but you know, we felt coming into the week that we both could do with a big jump in the FedEx Cup, and we both said at the start of the week, let's go and get 400 points each, and you know, that's what we've done. I nearly feel a little bit bad taking them because Rory carried me a lot of the way, but yeah, they're mine and they're not going away.
Don't sell yourself short. You came up big when you guys needed it most. That birdie on 18 in regulation, you had a ton of time to think about it. Yeah. Talk me through how you were able to stay in the mental space you needed to be in to make that one drop.
I don't know, look, it was a short putt, but I've been struggling recently on the greens, and I missed one today as well, and yeah, I just had to, you know, dig a little bit deeper, but yeah, it was nice to win. It's disappointing for the lads to finish the way they did, but you know, we've had just the best week, and anytime this man wants to partner me, I'll be happy to do so.
These crowds have shown up for you guys from day one. You got a standing ovation leaving the restaurant last night. We know New Orleans loves you too. How much are you loving New Orleans and these fans?
Yeah, it's been an amazing week. You know, I've never been here before. Shane's been here a handful of times, and you know, we've went out for some really nice dinners, and you know, people could not have been more hospitable or nicer to us during the week. So I'd say we're going to come back and defend next year. What do you think?
I hope so. Okay. I hope so. I'll be here.
Matching uniforms. We'll see these two guys right back here next year, Andrew.
Well, definitely a positive outlook for both heading into the rest of the season. The miss from Martin, that one was costly, and for the two good friends, they will enjoy, as Trainer will have to accept. And a disappointing way to end the afternoon, that's for sure. Gunning for his second win on tour, so was his teammate But ultimately, these two team up for a great moment. And Lowry back in the winner's circle now for the third time in his career. 25 for Rory McIlroy. And just an outstanding week for both of them to be able to come and enjoy on the PGA Tour. 25 under wins it, and they have a lot to celebrate. So when we take a look back, so many great moments here in the Crescent City. You can relive it all by logging on to PGATour.com. You'll hear the winners interview exclusively by logging on. Congratulations to McIlroy and Lowry. This concludes the PGA Tour's final round coverage of the Zurich Classic of New Orleans from TPC Louisiana in Avondale, Louisiana.